Dear Diary, first of all, please pardon the horrible music behind me if that appears on this recording. Some kind of modern pop garbage. I live in a world that is horrible. And you know, every one of these songs was paid for. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. When you hear songs on the radio, you think they are played because the program director liked them. That has never, ever been true. Jimi Hendrix admitted they had to pay radio stations to play Jimi Hendrix. Pink Floyd admits they had to pay radio stations to play See Emily Play. The Beatles cheated. Everyone had to cheat. It's pay to play. But if we all unite, we can murder all these greedy scumbags who ruin the music industry. I'm not blaming Hendrix or those guys. They had no choice. It's mafia. The music industry is organized crime, and if our legal system wasn't so awful, I would sue the fuck out of them, and all musicians could sue the fuck out of these motherfucking fucks for destroying radio and the entire music industry because of greed. Elliot Spitzer, when he was Attorney General of New York State, he went after a bunch of radio stations again. He proved they were playing J-Lo songs, they were getting paid to play. He said, that's illegal, you motherfuckers. It's payola. Franz Ferdinand, the indie rock band, they were paying radio stations to play them. And Elliot Spitzer cracked down on it temporarily. Once he was gone, that's why they took him out as governor. Like, shit, everybody goes to hookers. We got something against this moron. I've digressed again. I'm so sorry. This is a quick story about how... this is actually a metaphor. I have a fake dimple. Unlike most human beings, I have a fake dimple on my face. It's my only dimple. On my... Is it my right cheek? I think it's my right cheek. And no one has ever guessed that dimple was fake because no one has ever jumped to conclusions about me correctly in my life yet. Why start now? I defy all stereotypes, which is not good. You don't want to defy stereotypes, ladies and gentlemen. My whole life I grew up saying, I don't care what the neighbors think. I don't care what other people think about me. I care what I think about me, and I'm going to live my life the way I want to, regardless of what the fucking Nazis think. Now, in hindsight, I can look back and go, oh, shit, I didn't realize how badly they were going to fuck me over for that. You obey or you will be crushed. You will assimilate or you will be crushed. So it's a tough call. If I had kids, I don't know what I'd tell them. Forge your own path and live a life of total misery. I mean, you'll be pleased with yourself. Like lots of people in this world who are successful hate themselves. And they should hate themselves. You know? Most human beings should hate themselves. They're terrible creatures. Now, they don't have to be. They could improve, but they just won't. Laziness, cowardice, blah, blah, blah. Now, this story is about how I got my fake dimple, but it's more of a metaphor for every minute of my life. How people destroyed me and injured me, etc., based solely on mistakes. I don't have a problem. If somebody doesn't like me and wants to fuck me up, that's one thing. But we're talking about people fucking my life up by mistake, which humans do every day, not just to me, right? My favorite story is the two NYPD officers, detectives, decorated detectives, who were mafia hitmen on the side. No big deal. Under Rudy Giuliani. Everyone believes he cracked down on the mob because everyone believes what the newspapers say because they only have every motive to lie. And Giuliani gave him $8 billion. $8 billion in corporate welfare to all the major media. From Rudy Giuliani, which he stole from the subways. People are like, man, I hate the MTA raised subway fare. It's not the MTA. You think it's those three letters that raised the subway fare? Do you really think those three letters, MTA, was what raised your subway fare? You fucking idiots. Goddamn sheeple. It was Rudy Giuliani who devastated mass transit in New York City. With a little help from Governor Pataki, Republican, and Mayor Bloomberg, Republican. But you can't teach human beings any tricks. Whoosh. So, wait, what was my point about that, though? People still believe everything they read. Oh, Giuliani with the mob, though. His police commissioner is in prison right now. And you know how he got caught? Because he was hanging around with his best friend who was a mobster. Oops. Giuliani was the number one friend of mobsters there was. What he did was he cracked down on some mobsters to protect the other mob families. But humans, he knew humans are stupid. They don't pay attention to anything. The reporters are stupid as fuck. These fucking reporters can't figure anything out. And he was right. Reporters can't figure out anything. Humans have no detective skills. I was born, unfortunately, with massive detective skills, and I'm not happy about that. I'd rather be ignorant. Intelligence there's nothing good about it. Anyhow, but wait, what was the other point about Giuliani and the mob? The guy, the two detectives who were mob hitmen. Now, Rudy Giuliani came and said, I didn't know. Really, you didn't know? It was on the front page of the fucking Daily News, you piece of shit, while you were mayor. There was another cop or whatever, or somebody who alleged that these two detectives were mafia. And the story was front page Daily News. Well, Giuliani said, two detectives alleged to be mobsters? I don't want anybody investigating this story. I don't want anybody in internal affairs. I don't want anybody on my staff looking to see if this is true or not. And they didn't. And then 10 years later, those two detectives went to jail for all kinds of serious crimes. But my point about mistakes was, it's one of my favorite stories of humans fucking up. And, I mean, there are 7 trillion stories of well, that's not true. There's 7 trillion stories a week of humans fucking up. You're like, is that true? Yeah, it is. I can show you all human beings making endless mistakes per day. And you don't even know, because you don't see it all. So don't get me started. What's my point? Oh, so the two detectives, the mob was looking for this guy. I don't know if he owed them money or whatever. And in Queens, the detectives tracked down where he lived, tipped off the mob. The mob went, picked the guy up, took him to a warehouse or whatever, tortured the fuck out of him, and killed him. Tortured the fuck out of this guy and killed him. There was one problem. They grabbed the wrong guy. Yes, it was the right name, but there was more than one person living in New York City with that name. Oops. Now, you understand, that's not simply a huge mistake. That's a doubly huge mistake. That's double retardation. Because to kill the wrong person is a stupid mistake. A really big mistake. To torture and murder the wrong person is an enormous retarded mistake. But you did it based solely on the assumption that no one else had the same name in a city of 8 million people? Wow. They shouldn't have gone to jail. They should have gone to a fucking retard asylum where the retards fucking are allowed to fucking bang their heads against each other for the rest of their lives. That's human society in a nutshell. Every day you see endless fuck-ups. Every day, almost every problem in society is not caused by intent. It's caused by fucking up. So there I was, little Christopher Brodeur, in elementary school, 6th grade. I'm 90% sure it was 6th grade, I think. I'm pretty sure. And the girl's name was Ellen Avey. And Ellen, looking back now, Ellen, you would say, is the kind of athletic girl you would assume would become a dyke someday. That's the social category she fits into. And Ellen Avey, I didn't have any problems with her at all. I thought she was cool. She was handsome. And so one day, now I've always had a big mouth, and I'm proud of my big mouth. I will tell you the truth when no one else will. I will tell you there is food stuck in your teeth when no one else will. I will tell you have toilet paper stuck to your shoe when no one else will, because they're afraid of embarrassing you. Oops. Well, you know what's going to embarrass you more? Walking around with the toilet paper on your shoe. People are assholes. People are cowards. They're cowards, and they're cowards. I'm not. I'm going to tell you the fucking truth. I don't care whether you're fucking mad at me or not. And most of the time when I try to help people, they turn on me. They don't turn on their enemies. They turn on their allies. That's how humans are. They're monsters. You're learning that slowly. They're monsters. We need to kill all humans. There's no other solution. I've been trying for my whole life to educate people. I should say educate. You can't educate humans. You really can't. We have the world's greatest universities, blah, blah, blah. So when are you guys going to lick this violence thing? Oh, it's going to 100,000 years, you haven't licked violence, haven't crime, poverty, war, homelessness. In 100,000 years, you haven't licked homelessness. Seriously. Right there. If there was nothing else the human race did wrong, we should shut them down. Right there. Like New York City, we spend $700 million a year on homeless services, yet we only have 40,000 homeless people. We have 20,000 vacant public housing units we're warehousing. 20,000. A lot of them are 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms. Oh my God, we could solve homelessness tomorrow. Wait. We could solve homelessness tomorrow and save $700 million a year? What's the drawback? Oh, if we move these people into the public housing, then the rich developers get fucked. I see, Mr. Bloomberg. Oh, don't let me digress. 6th grade, I was saying something about some girl. I don't remember what. But something critical. I believe in free speech. I believe we all have a right to criticize. I tell audiences, if you don't like my songs, I have no problem with you saying that. Don't come up to me after a show and say, good set. If you don't think so, if you think my set was lame, go, not your best set. Or you say, I don't like that song at all. Whatever. Feel free. I'm not going to judge you. I don't expect everyone to like everything I do. I don't like vanilla. I don't like chocolate ice cream. I don't like strawberry ice cream that much. I like vanilla ice cream. It's not chocolate ice cream's fault. Chocolate ice cream didn't do anything wrong. Chocolate ice cream's feelings shouldn't be hurt. I just don't like chocolate ice cream. No big deal. But human beings are so fucking insecure that they can't handle criticism. I can handle criticism. You say, no, you can't. You always flip out. No. I only flip out if the criticism is wrong. Like right now, I look like shit because I'm fucking couch surfing. You don't have access to my nice clothes, my cool, fabulous, flabulous clothing, etc., etc. I look like shit. If somebody sees me and says, you look like shit, I'm going to say, I know. What do you expect? I'm sleeping on couches. And I don't have access to most of my stuff. You see? I don't mind being criticized as long as the criticism is accurate or fair. Why are people so afraid of being criticized? That's one of the reasons why. That's one of the biggest, maybe top 2 problems in our human society is the insecurity and hatred of being criticized. That's why everyone kisses Bloomberg's ass, because they don't want to get the emperor and the tyrant angry. Well, that's good, because you know what you did when you all blew smoke up his ass? Well, you created a Frankenstein monster. Delfino, all of her friends kissed her ass, even when they thought she should tune her guitar before she goes on stage. They didn't say it because they were afraid. The result is she got on stage every time with her guitar tuned. She said nobody seems to mind. You humans are creating monsters. Stop the fucking fuck. What the fuck? All right. Luckily for you, dear listener, this story is very short. Ellen Avey. There's really almost nothing to it. I was criticizing some girl, 6th grade. I remember we were all kind of like standing up. I don't know if it was like a science class or something, because it wasn't like normal. We're all sitting at desks. And I said something, and she just shoved me. I was talking to somebody. She was like overheard the conversation. She just pushed me, shoved me. And my face went into the corner of a table. And that corner of the table stabbed my cheek and ripped my flesh open. And I bled all over the place. And they had to pick me up, take me to the hospital, stitch my face up. That's why I have a dimple only on my right cheek. I'll try and post a photo that shows it, but I'm not sure if I have a photo. I'll just show off the one dimple. But now what's the... Oh, wait. Now, so the point is, now Ellen Avey, even if I had been criticizing her, she doesn't have a right to use physical violence. But I wasn't even criticizing her. I didn't even dislike her. I told you, it's only in hindsight that I think she was probably... Well, that sounds like I'm criticizing dykes. I'm not. I don't mind dykes at all. So let me rephrase that before you misunderstand what I'm saying. Because humans have a tendency to misunderstand things. You'll find that out someday. Well, it's way too late to be of use. But... So the moral of the story is, though, now every fight I've ever had in my life was not 2 people who disagreed on something. It was me doing something good or doing something neutral. Criticizing somebody is... Actually, I would argue that criticizing people is a good deed. When you criticize somebody, it's because you're trying to make things better. Now, 6th grade, I was 10 years old. You can't really make somebody better when you're criticizing behind their backs. And you notice I don't do that anymore. I criticize people to their face. I say, I don't like that you do this. You should fix this. You should change this. I offer a lot of people lots of advice. Most people don't take my advice. Almost no one takes my advice. And then 20 years later, they say, you know what? You were right. And I'm like, wow, it only took you 20 years to figure that out. Well, there's a lot of hope for the future. So criticize people to their faces. And you people being criticized, stop fucking knee-jerking. Stop fucking crying. Stop fucking getting angry at the messenger. Stop killing the messenger. We should all want to be criticized, right? If you're a songwriter and your mom and your dad and everyone says, you're great, and your friends say, you're great, are you going to believe that? They have every motive to lie to you. You don't want to have people blowing smoke up your ass. You want your friends to tell you the truth because you're going to go out there and waste your time trying to be a star or whatever, and you're fucking completely awful. You're just wasting your fucking time. Your loved ones should be truthful with you, and your enemies should be truthful with you. Why can't I live in a world where people just be truthful? Just try it. Come on, you fucking lazy fucks. Just try being truthful. And remember that. Whenever anything happens to me in my life, looks can be deceiving. This dimple isn't real. This dimple was created by somebody else's violence and ignorance. Now, ironically, some people like the dimple. I hate it. But please try to remember the story of Ellen Avey. She stabbed a 10-year-old in the face with the corner of the table. Oh, I make the headlines a little lascivious like the media does. Pardon me for sensationalizing it. But we live in an information age where you guys need, the subject header has to grab you. I like a fight. We all like a good fight, a feisty fight. But please stop judging me. Stop jumping to conclusions because there ain't no way you're correct. I don't obey any stereotypes, so therefore you shouldn't really be trying to judge somebody who obeys no stereotypes because you're not going to get it right. And remember that. You're like, oh, you cause all your problems. No, humans are savages. They cause all their own problems. They cause all the world's problems. They cause most of Mother Nature's problems. That's what humans do. Yet everyone I know blames me. They say I make all the bad happen with my attitude. I made Bush invade Iraq. I made Bloomberg steal the third term. I made him steal the first 2 elections. I made Bloomberg steal all the money from the homeless to give to the rich. I made Bloomberg raise property taxes 25% and balloon all our rents. I made Bloomberg do all this evil shit. Really? I didn't, you fucking liars. You humans did. You sleepwalk through life. You don't give a fuck about each other. You treat each other like shit. You humans are savages. Stop. Let's cut to the chase. Let's get society to admit it finally. We are still savages. In fact, you're more savage than when they lived in caves, right? You used your intellect to come up with ways to kill more people faster and to rape more people faster. I mean, you call that progress. I don't. Hell, even today we're more savage in every way. I sometimes have to sleep outdoors right now. I've had to sleep outdoors on cold concrete. Cavemen didn't. Cavemen would fucking have rug, animal skin, something. So 300,000 years ago, 200,000 years ago, they sometimes lived better than we today do. I'll take you out around Manhattan. You'll see lots of people living on cold concrete, sleeping on cold cardboard. Because Bloomberg has only $700 million a year sent to homeless services. And none of the money is going to homeless services. Fuck Bloomberg.